Hi, and welcome once again to Cooking for the Yum of It. Today I'm going to be making Bargemen's beef stew, which is another recipe in my slow cooker French cookbook. Let's get started. Okay, now the first thing we need to do is take our meat, 4 pounds of beef stew meat. Now this meat, we're not going to be drying it as I did with the beef bourguignon. This meat over here, we won't be browning that before we start the cooking process. So drying it will be unnecessary. We are, however, going to put it in this little bowl here. You'll see why in a second. Somewhere there is a vegetarian or a vegan screaming out in anger at me. Okay. I'm going to need some towels here to sort of dry the beef juices off my hands. Now we're going to be taking 3 tablespoons all-purpose flour, a little bit at a time here. I'm going to toss that. Oh, one tried to escape. I would like to thank my roommates, Antonio and Michael, for providing the meat for this stew. They were able to get this at Costco. I don't have a Costco membership, but they're willing to help me out and get some of the meat. Okay. One more tablespoon of flour. Oh, another one tried to get away. And another one. Anyway, I've never made this particular version of beef stew before, but I'm sure it will be absolutely delicious. Okay. My hands are a bit pasty from the flour. Let me just wash my hands a bit. Now, we're going to peel and slice our onion. We need 3 onions for this dish, which I will be slicing with my veggie bullet into 2 separate containers. You'll see why in a minute. Ooh, my. I understand that vegetable peelings from onions and potatoes and turnips and whatever were used in England during World War II for something called a Tottenham Cake. Now this was not a cake in the traditional sense, nor was it a cake eaten by people. This was something they would make, the people would make and then take to a special co-op and feed to the pigs. Half the meat going to the government for the war effort, and the other half for themselves as part of the, Dig for Victory campaign. Grow your own vegetables, raise your own pigs. But they don't do that anymore, and I'm not going to be doing it here. I will, however, be drying my eyes. Oh my. Ooh. Yeah, I really should have cut those under running cold water like I've done before. Okay. Now we've got our onions. Now, just give me 1 minute while I get a bowl. Okay. Okay, here we go. Well, the veggie bullet really is a fantastic invention. That and the food processor. Okay, now I'm going to put you on pause for a second. Okay, now as I reposition my camera here, we need to spray the inside of our slow cooker with some non-stick spray. And we put half of the onions we've done so far. Now, next, I like to measure things as accurately as possible. So our next step is to put in half of our meat, or 2 pounds. So I've got my little trusty kitchen scale here. That's 1 pound. And there we go over 2. Okay. Now we place our meat in the pot. And we get our ever popular, oh, excuse me, I hate to do that to you. We get our salt, we get our pepper, and our herbes de Provence. Okay, so let me get, I don't like to use too much salt, so I'm only going to put in half a teaspoon of salt. Then 1/4 teaspoon of our black pepper. Let's get that here. Whoop. And 1 full teaspoon of our herbs de Provence. Now, with that out of the way, I slice our remaining onions. Make sure you can see all this, although you've seen me slice onions before. And trying my best not to let any of it go to waste. Yeah. Or as little of it to go to waste as possible. Now we get our veggie bullet out of the way. Bring our slow cooker back into camera range. We cover the rest of our onions. Now, no extra liquid is added to this. All of the liquid for the stew will come from the onions and the meat as it cooks. And so this is a new thing for me because I have always added extra liquid before. Chicken stock, beef broth, water. So this is the first time I've done this without adding extra liquid, so it will be interesting to see how that works. And again, let's clean off the beef paste from my hands. Now, one moment. Okay, there we are for now. I will go manual. I will set the temp on low, and I will start cooking, coming back in approximately 8 hours to a delicious French Bargemen stew. See you later. Oh, and when I say later, I do mean when I have to do the next step, which will be adding some anchovy fillets, garlic, and a little bit, so technically there's a little bit of liquid that I'll be adding, some red wine vinegar. Sorry about that. Not about the vinegar, but that I didn't mention it before. I'll see you soon. Okay, it's been about 7 hours, just about, and I wanted to give a good take a look. Oh yes, I do not have any fears now that not adding extra liquid would be bad. But I am going to take a little taste and see if the meat is done. If it is, I may just end up cooking it for 7 rather than 8 hours, going on to the next step in the recipe. I'm going to find a small piece of meat. Here we go. bring this up so you can see me eat. Let me adjust the camera. Put the lid back on. Ooh, it is very hot. Sorry, I went out of camera there for a second. Yes, so far so good. The meat's nice and tender, and I think it's yes, I definitely think it's good enough now. But as you can see, it's a little colorless. I want to add a little color to it, so let me find my paprika. And I'll be right back. Okay, I don't want to add too much, so we're going to start with just 1 tablespoon. Give it a subtle flavor and just a little better color. Now, doesn't that look much better? I think it does. Much better. So now we have our next step. So let's. Okay, now we peel 6 cloves of garlic. I was tempted to skip this part because you've all seen me peel garlic before. But, you know, I like talking to y'all, even if... I think I got that one. Yeah, there it goes. Oh, you'll notice I have also taken off my sweater. It's just, if you can't stand the heat, don't wear the sweater in the kitchen. Okay. Oh, this one, I could plant it if I wanted to. It started going green a little. Now this goes, here we go, into this food processor. Get a smaller knife to two. Anyway, last time I checked, I have 33 followers on my channel, and I'm thinking if I can get just 967 more for a total of 1,000, I might be able to attract a sponsor, and then I'd be able to afford a cameraman who'd either work for free or work for food. I'd be able to actually pay them something and maybe have a, who knows. Okay. And the recipe also calls for 6 anchovy fillets. Hopefully there are 6 in here. I think there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 2 extra out of the can. Don't worry. I actually like sardines. Excuse me, anchovies. I'm such a nitwit. Now we're going to add 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. Need both hands to squeeze this in here. If you'll excuse me, I need 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. I'm using Star red wine vinegar. 1 Now, let's make sure we've got the correct angle there. Okay. Scrape it down from the sides. It's got a wonderful tangy aroma to it. Be interesting to see how this jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Sorry about that. I know it's a little early for Christmas carols. Okay. Let's give it a little bit more time. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Take out this part. Oh, helps if I take the lid off. I made a very satisfying plop when it hit the stew. Quite an interesting flavor. Bring this over here so you can see. Let me give it a good stir. Oh. Okay, now let's take a little ultimate Critic taste test. I don't know if you saw me. I can't see the other end of my camera when I'm lifting it up like that, but that actually has a really nice tang to it. I can't think of a better word. So let's get this dished up and let's eat. Oh, doesn't that look good? Anyway, I can hardly wait to try it. Oh. Oh, that is so good. I don't know what it would have tasted like without the paprika, but I am glad I put it in. It, aside from the extra flavor, it does give it a nice color. So anyway, that was my Bargemen's beef stew. I hope you enjoyed it, because I know I'm going to. And always remember, until next time, eat and enjoy.